Hey everybody, it's Zach. Welcome back to the Heroverse. And guys, we are back at it again with another Marvel Legends unboxing. And today we're going to be unboxing the Magic the Gathering Marvel Legends Battle Damage Spider-Man figure. Super excited to unbox this figure. I will say though, a lot of people's Battle Damage Spider-Man, like the legs have been snapping off. I'm a little bit concerned, I'm not going to lie. I feel like I should heat it up in some hot water first to make sure it doesn't, like, the leg doesn't pop off. But a part of me is like, let's see if it doesn't do it and let's not heat it up. So I don't know. I'm a little bit scared to do it. I honestly think I might heat it up just to make sure because I really don't want a problem to happen where I think it won't happen to me and then it happens to me. So I think that's what I'm going to do once I get the figure out. But here's the front of the box right here. Really cool. Of course, there is the collector's card. This actually works. This is a playable card in Magic the Gathering, which is really cool. I don't play Magic the Gathering, but I have a friend named Ben that does play Magic the Gathering, so that's really cool. It was funny. He actually said if I ended up buying this, would he be able to buy the card from me? And I'm like, no, I'm going to keep the card, even though I don't play it. I want to keep the card. It might be worth something in the next couple of years. I want to keep on to it. So, this is really cool, the card. Of course, we have the battle damaged head right there. We have, of course, the masked head where it, like, is showing his skin, but also showing some of his hair. We, of course, have two open wall crawling hands. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. Two open wall crawling hands. And we have two flipping hands up in the corner. And then we have two fists on him right there. And we also have a web shield. The web shield, actually, I believe this is the same web shield that came with my Maximum Spider-Man, I think. It might be the same one. I have a web shield. I don't know if you guys can see that down there, right there. I don't know if it's the same one. We might compare. Maybe we'll do that. But yeah, honestly, I'm super excited. Here's the side panel of the box, a cool picture of Battle Damage Spider-Man. And this is the first time ever we've gotten a Battle Damage Spider-Man, so it is really cool. Here's the back with some other Marvel Legends and other figures, a part of the Magic the Gathering Marvel Legends collab. Of course, we have Man-Wolf. I actually saw him twice at the GameStop near me and a GameStop that was a little bit ways away from me. Not as close to my house, but I saw it at two GameStops, the Man-Wolf. My bro actually said that they got the Agent Anti-Venom at his Walmart, so that's really cool. I have not seen Mary Jane Watson Iron Spider yet, which I think out of all the other ones, I'd probably get her if I did come across her. So that's really cool right there. And then, of course, we have Battle Damage Spider-Man up here. I'm not gonna lie, like, the only one I wanted a part of this wave was this one. I said if I was gonna get any other one, it would be, Mary Jane Iron Spider. So that's it. That is what the box looks like. Here's the top where it says more Spider-Man, and it says Magic the Gathering right there. And it just has Marvel Legends series up here. So this is really cool. I do like the box artwork. And I do like the fact that this is a cool collaboration with Magic the Gathering. But without further ado, guys, we're about to get it out. And like I said, guys, it's been a minute for me since I've done a unboxing video. It's been a hot minute. I haven't done one since, I want to say, my Thunderbolts figures, which was a couple of months ago. Of course, I'm here at home right now. So yeah, like I said, I just said, you know what, F it. Let's do an unboxing. Of course, let's get it out right there. There we go. We can move the box over here real quick. And this is just going to be an unedited video. I don't think I'm going to really do much editing in this video. I just said, you know what, let's just do it. So, put the box over there. But this, of course, there it is. A little good look at him. He looks great. I'm very happy about this figure. Just seeing him, he looks incredible. Now, like I said, it's not the Maximum Spidey like a lot of people thought. It's a different body entirely. It's not the Maximum Spidey body, but I think this is the Sunfire body mold, or it is the, what else could it be? The Renew Your Vows. Let me know what body mold this is. You guys would probably know way more than I would, because I'm not very good at spotting out, like, oh, did they reuse the same body? I'm not sure. This could be totally reused from the Sunfire body mold or the Renew Your Vows, but it looks incredible. I think I can't tell if he has butterfly joints until we actually get him out. But of course, there's the card right there. There's the web shield. I'm pretty sure this is the same exact web shield, if I'm correct. Sorry, guys. While I do that. Right there. Same exact web shield. It's the same one. This one might have a little bit more detailing on it, but it's practically the same web shield, if I'm being completely honest. So that's pretty cool. I think that's why a lot of people thought it was the Maximum Spider-Man, to be honest, because of the fact that it had the web shield. And so I don't blame people thinking that, oh, this is just the Maximum Spidey, just battle damage. That would have been cool if they would do a Maximum Spidey battle damage. I think I would have bought that for sure, if that's what they wanted to do. Or they just did one battle damage, one not battle damage. But you could probably put two of this figure on any display, but I might honestly put this Spider-Man with my battle damage. I meant with my Maximum Spidey, because this is pretty cool. I mean, since it's on the not maximum side in terms of articulation, but it's kind of on the maximum side on the fact they did that cool collab with Magic the Gathering. So I have a kind of a shelf right now where I'm putting all my specialty figures, or the ones that aren't needed a part of like teams. Like my Maximum Hulk is going to be staying with my Avengers. So, but yeah, he looks really good. Here's a cool look at the card. We can kind of take it. I don't want to take out the card, but I do want to take it off of the kind of out of the packaging here. I do want to be careful. I don't want to ruin the card, because like I said, I might try to sell this at a later date, maybe. Or guys, let me know if you maybe I'll sell to someone watching this video, depending on how much you guys are willing to pay for it. But this is really cool. I'm not gonna lie. I might keep on to it, like I said, and you know what I mean, and see what it's worth in the next couple of years. Who knows if it's going to be worth anything, but this is just a cool thing just to have, quite honestly. So that's really cool. I'm not taking it out of its plastic sleeve. It's staying in here. I might honestly get it graded, to be honest. I've thought about that, but who knows. But that's what it looks like. But now let's get them out of the actual plastic itself. And all right, guys, we are back. I did heat them up. So I will say I do not want to fuck with the legs too much, because I do see what people are saying is that the drop down hips are a little bit, I don't know, because even when you do it like this, like when you do like a full split, like so, which you can do the full splits, but I don't want to push it any more than that, but you can do a full split essentially. Once you go back, you have to make sure you go upwards with it right away and pop it back in, because the drop down hips are kind of activated. So once you're going in, you want to make sure you pop it up, which like so, so that way you don't break it. So I'm you know what I mean? I'm not going to be messing around with the legs too much when I actually get them up on display. I'm going to get them in one probably leaning pose, and I'm going to call it a day. I don't want to push my luck with this figure, because I don't want it to break. I don't want to have to track down another battle damage Spider-Man or have to wait through Hasbro, because I think they still have them up on Hasbro Pulse, but I really don't want to mess around too much. But he is awesome. I will say he has all the articulation points I think a lot of people will care about, to be honest. He does have butterfly joints, as you guys can see right there. He does have butterfly joints, so that's really cool. For me personally, you guys know, if you're been here around here before, you guys know I don't really care as much about if a figure's pinless, if a figure has butterfly joints, if it has boot swivel. I don't really care as much, because I'm not really going into me buying the Marvel Legends. I'm not going into me buying Marvel Legends for the articulation. I'm going into it because I like the characters. I like the paint apps. That's what I'm looking for when I pick up a Marvel Legends. But like I said, you got boot swivel. That's really cool. A lot of people care about that for sure. Of course, he has double jointed knees, as you guys can see right there. Double jointed knees. So that's really cool. Actually, focus in for a minute if it wants to focus in. I don't know if it will. But yeah, he has double jointed knees. That's cool. He has, double jointed elbows. Hopefully it'll pick up. Yeah, he has double jointed elbows. Really cool. What else? He does have an ab crunch. So he does have an ab crunch. So that's cool. And he can go pretty much that far forward, as you can see. This far back, as you can see. So that's cool. Not a bad ab crunch, I would say. Of course, he has a ball peg ball peg. So that's really, really cool. What else? What else? I showed you guys the splits. He has drop-down hips. I'm not messing around with it. So you just take my word for it. You guys saw the drop-down hips because I had to put it back into place. But yeah, like I said, he has drop-down hips, as you can see right there. Drop-down hip. Wait, I got to put it back into place. I don't want to mess around too much. I do suggest, like I said, like everybody's been doing, heat this up in a warm bucket of water before you fuck around with the legs. Just just to prevent you having to track down another battle damage Spider-Man. Just take my word for it. You know what I mean? I've seen people snap their thing on like a live record, like on a recording, just snap it by accident when they don't mean to do that, when they don't know about that information. Just be careful, because you never know. It can happen to you, it cannot happen to you. I just would rather be on the safe side and throw it in a thing of hot water, you know what I mean, just to be on the safe side. But I do like the detailing of, like, the fact that, like I said, his suit did get ripped off here. I love, look how great it looks right there. His hair popping through, and then we have, of course, you know, his cheek showing right there. I like how they did the arm, and of course there is some scratches, as you can see. He's been in a fight. I'm excited. I'm tempted to put, like, have villains around him, so I am tempted. Honestly, you could easily put this on your 90s Spider-Man animated shelf if you really, really wanted to, because I do have the 90s Peter Parker head from the 90s animated series, which I will be putting on here just to see what that looks like. But honestly, this suit passes because I had the figure a minute ago, and they're not too far off in terms of color and like the way the suit is designed. So you could easily put this figure in your 90s Spider-Man animated shelf if you wanted to have kind of a battle damage look for him, or you could put them anywhere. But this is honestly a good alt figure. If you got this and you're like, oh, I don't have a 90s Spider-Man animated series figure, you could put that in there, honestly. And if you got the Vulture 2-pack with Peter Parker, with that Spider-Man, you could put this head on him, and then you can have a masked Spider-Man while having the unmasked on the battle damage body if you want to do that, or vice versa. But yeah, this is pretty cool. I do like even the back right here. The butterfly joints don't affect anything in terms of like the suit, the proportions and stuff. So that's really, really cool. I love the wrinkles, of course, they added as well, like the suit bagging up and stuff. That's really, really cool. Like the bagginess, I like it. Like he's like, it's showing the wrinkles in the suit, which I really, really appreciate it. It goes to kind of show the homemade look of Spider-Man making a suit. I do like when they do that with the figures. They did it with the Maximum Spidey, which I do have right here. They kind of have the wrinkles, as you guys can see right there. So that's really, really cool, to be honest. If I'm being completely honest, I think there's a real cool thing to it, which we're going to put Maximum Spidey here while we're kind of doing this. Let me just put him right there. Have him looking at you guys. There we go, there we go. But yeah, honestly, I do like this. I do like this figure a lot. Honestly, I don't know how I'm gonna have him posed, but I just like the detailing of the suit being ripped. And like I said, there's some more rip marks right there. There's some more there's scratch marks on his chest. So it's really, really cool, honestly. I think, honestly, this is how I'm also going to pose him. I want to be careful with, again, the hips. I want to be careful. I don't want to break this figure. I will say the swivel on this one is a bit iffy. I want to be careful because, like I said, I don't want to mess around with it too much. I'm going to kind of get it in one kind of pose and kind of call it a day. Okay, I want to be careful. Honestly, that's probably how I'm gonna. Like, that's probably how I'm gonna have him, honestly, and then kind of like this. But I'm gonna have him like probably using his web shooters. But that's probably how I'm gonna have him on my shelf. I don't want to fuck around with the legs anymore. But I am gonna take this head sculpt off, so let's do that real quick. And like I said, he comes with flipping hands, the wall crawling hands. I'll probably make him use the flipping hands, completely honest. I like to have my Spider-Man using the flipping hands or using the wall crawling ones and kind of being like that. But I think for this one, I'm going to have him use the flipping hands. Very much how I have him, my other Spider-Man pose. But we're going to see, the ball pegs look like they match here. So it should be a snug like fit, to be honest. Hopefully, I'm worried about the neck, though. The neck is pretty high. How will that look? Be careful. Do this. I don't know. Maybe I will say this Peter Parker head's a bit small. So I don't know. I'm gonna let you guys kind of be the judge of it. But then again, this head sculpt that we got for Peter is pretty small. So I don't know. The battle damage head, which we will put on, that came with, of course, the Spider-Man. But this doesn't look too half bad, if I'm being completely honest. It doesn't look half bad. Actually looks better than I expected. I thought for sure when I was putting this head on, I was like, oh, it looks a bit small. But I'm gonna let you guys be the kind of judge. What do you guys think? Do you guys think it looks too small? Be honest with me. Too small? I don't know. Kind of, but we're gonna compare it in a minute. Let's take this back off and let's put the battle damage head on, and we'll kind of see where we're going with this. Okay. You know what? This does work. This does work because they're about the same size. Honestly, they're about the same size. Not much of a difference, quite honestly. So yeah, I think it works. But if I'm being honest, I really like this better. The battle damage head on the battle damage body. It just looks honestly amazing. And also we do have the bendable toes. So we do have that. The toes do bend. So that's cool. A lot of people like that too. That have more dynamic poses for Spider-Man. So that actually works out very, very well. But yeah, I do like this. I do like this battle damage head. It is clean. It is really, really cool. Look how cool that looks. It's pretty sick, if I do say so myself. I'm actually glad I got this figure. I really am, because I did cancel my order back in October. It was like early October, because it was supposed to. It was around the time all the X-Men 97 wave was coming out on Amazon, and this one was coming out around the 20th. But I was like, I don't know if I need it, and I was kind of purging a whole bunch of like pre-orders, and I was really asking myself, what orders do I actually want to keep? And around the time of the X-Men 97 wave dropping, my Daredevil Born Again helmet was dropping, my roleplay helmet, and also my roleplay Marvel Legends Wolverine helmet was dropping. So I canceled my X-Men 97 orders. I got those two helmets, and then I was able to really look at which figures I wanted the most from the X-Men 97 wave. And I said no to Cable, even though I had him on pre-order. I said no to was it Logan in his civilian clothes. I said no to I think that was it, just those two. And then I ended up doing my orders at GameStop, my pre-orders, because they were for a later date. And I was like, you know what? I actually do want Cable, because I saw a lot of people showing pictures, and I was like, and once I put Jubilee and Morph up when I picked up my orders, and I was waiting for my Emma Frost, I was like, you know what? I was like, I actually do want Cable, because I had my Marvel vs. Capcom Cable. I had it with my X-Men 97. I was like, this does not fit. I'm actually going to go buy that Cable. And I don't regret it. Like, that Cable's phenomenal. But this figure is I think, honestly, just because of the battle damage head and just because of the way the suit looks, Hasbro did an amazing job. They did an amazing job, in my personal opinion. If I'm being completely honest, don't get me wrong, I love this Maximum Spidey. But if I'm being completely honest, I'm a sucker for, like, the real, like, classic, just, brighter red and blue. And I love the idea that they did the battle damage head, battle damage on the suit. I prefer this over this. Don't get me wrong, I love this figure, it's great, but I prefer this. Like I said, in terms of, now, you guys might disagree, because you got a lot of you guys out there that figure collect are going into buying figures, and you want articulation. And what other figure is best for articulation than Spider-Man? So a lot of you guys might be like, no, the Maximum Spider-Man is better than this Spider-Man, but I'm a sucker for when a Spider-Man suit is beat to shit. I grew up, of course, with the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire. You see how beat the shit his suit is? I love it. I love seeing Spider-Man suits damaged, and I'm hoping to see that in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So I'm a sucker for this. And you know what? For shits and giggles, I don't know how it's going to look, but I'll be right back. Like I said, I don't know how this is going to look, but I do have a Tom Holland Peter Parker head right here. This looks like a younger Peter Parker head sculpt, but I think it should work. It's about the same size as the other head sculpt. I will say this is a bit smaller, the Peter Parker one, than this one. It's a bit smaller. In terms of like this one, like I said, the Peter Parker one's a little bit smaller, but we're gonna see. We're just gonna see. It might look just like a little kid's head on a grown man's body, but this thing is so small. Yeah, bro took roids, man. Look at bro. Oh man, he took roids. Holy crap. That doesn't look right. That doesn't look right. That looks like a little kid's head on a grown man's body. That doesn't look right. It actually looks really funny, though. That looks really funny. He took the bone saw regimen, to be honest. Holy crap. That's actually really funny. Okay, so it doesn't work. Doesn't work. Maybe if someone has a better, maybe like a, I don't even know, maybe like a custom Tom Holland head might work. But that one does not work. Oh man, that actually looked bad. I never want to do that again. Even though it'd be really funny to kind of like have this head sculpt on like a bigger body as like a meme thing. Oh man, that's hilarious though. Okay, but yeah, we put this head sculpt on the Battle Damage, the 90s series Peter Parker head sculpt. We put it on the Battle Damage body. We put, what else did we put on the body? I do want to try the Battle Damaged head on the Maximum series Spidey, because they're relatively the same head sculpt from the Maximum series. But the thing is, which I'm gonna try to find, where's my Maximum series box? Give me a minute, guys, while I try to find that. Oh, here it is. So it's practically the same head right here. That looks very much like this. They look kind of a lot. No, scratch that. This one is still bigger. The one that came with the Maximum Spidey, and I do think that this head sculpt is pretty atrocious. I'm not a fan of this head sculpt, if I'm being completely honest. I wish they kind of would have packed the Maximum Spidey with this head sculpt than this one. But they didn't do that. But I do want to try putting the Battle Damaged head on the Maximum series styled body, and it should look good. I can't imagine. Sorry, guys. Come on, man. I always hate when that happens. I'm always worried that like that's the thing I don't like sometimes. But I wish that the ball peg wasn't so tight. It kind of makes me worried that some shit's gonna break. All right, let's try it. I will say that I want to be careful though, because trying to put a head sculpt on the Maximum series neck when the neck moves is sketchy. Like, I'm afraid it's gonna break, so I definitely want to be careful, because the neck likes to move when I try to put a head sculpt on. So I gotta be careful here. I'm not trying to have this break. Okay, we're good. You know, that doesn't look too half bad. I will say that this does not look too half bad. I'm gonna let you guys be the judge of that. What do we think? What are we thinking? I don't think it looks terrible, but I will say the neck is pretty tall. Maybe if the neck was a bit smaller, maybe if you Dremel out the Battle Damaged head, it would fit a little lower on the body. I don't think it looks that bad though. But yeah, but like when you look at the sizes of heads, bro's chin is huge, so that's what makes this head look a lot bigger than the Battle Damaged, Magic the Gathering head. So, all in all, it's about the same head size, but the hair is a bit bigger on this too, with the slicked back hair. But if I'm being honest, if you just Dremel out, like I said, the Battle Damaged Spider-Man head from the inside, it should fit a lot deeper on this, where it'll cover a majority of the neck. Maybe just like a tiny bit more, it would look perfect, to be honest. It did not look as goofy as the Tom Holland head on, like I said, on this body. You know what I mean? On the Battle Damaged Spider-Man Magic the Gathering body. But I am actually tempted now, while I'm here, to see what the Tom Holland head looks like on the Maximum series Spider-Man body. Will that look weird? Probably yes. Yeah, same problem. Bro's head's way too small. Way too small. Little kid's head on a grown man's body. This shit don't look right. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm doing it so you guys don't have to. Okay, so let's put this back on. The Maximum head. Let's put back on the Maximum Spidey. Maximum Spidey, thank you for your help. Put you back over here, because I can't put you on the shelf right now. So we're going to put him right there. All right, so yeah, I do love this. I think, honestly, on the shelf, I'm not going to have the mask on my Battle Damaged Spidey. I'm doing the no mask, because it It looks really, really cool. And if I'm being honest, I don't think I can. It's a shame they didn't give... It's a real shame they did not give me like a Spider-Man, like a grabbing hand with this Spider-Man. Because I could totally get how we got with the Vulture and the Vulture and Spider-Man 2-pack, was it the VHS 2-pack from the 90s Spider-Man. They gave us a Spider-Man mask. And that, you know what I mean? And they also gave us a Flash Thompson. Was it Flash? I think it was a Flash Thompson head. And yeah, that would have been great if they gave us grabbing hands with this figure. We could hold that mask. But they didn't give us grabbing hands. They gave us open wall crawling hands, and that won't work. So unless, I'm pretty sure they gave us grabbing hands with that Spidey, but I don't have the box here. I do not have the box here. I thought I had maybe the accessories, but I don't have the box here. Let me know. I want for someone out there that has that 2-pack, with the Vulture and Spider-Man VHS 2-pack from the 90s Spider-Man show. Get those hands, put them on this body, and make him hold that mask that comes with it, because there is a mask that comes with it, because that mask is supposed to go with the Flash Thompson. He's supposed to be like dressing up as Spider-Man from, I think it was in an episode of the 90s Spider-Man series. But yeah, let me know if that works. The colors should match perfectly in terms of the red. Now the webbing pattern might not match, who knows, but I'm curious to see what that looks like. Let me know if anybody's tried that. Let me know. I'm curious to know. Or maybe if I get those accessories, I'll try it myself to see what it looks like, because it would be really cool for him to hold his mask while just kind of standing there all battle worn. It would have been sick as shit. So that's my only gripe, is I wish we kind of would have got grabbing hands. With kind of Hasbro knowing, or maybe even them putting in, you know what I mean, an unmasked, just the mask itself from the hold and like one grabbing hand. Like that would have been perfect. That would have been perfect to make it like for him to go that little extra mile. But I know Hasbro, and I mean, I'm not too upset about it, but it would have been really sick. And like I said, I think what I'm going to go do is go get that one grabbing hand, go get that mask from that box set and maybe try it and see what that looks like. I hope it will look good. Let me actually grab that figure. Okay, so this is the 90s Spider-Man figure that came with that the Vulture VHS 2-pack. It might work. It might work. The only difference is that these web lines are a bit longer than these ones on his fist, but not by much. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't think it would be too crazy. They would more match up here with the 90s Spider-Man web lines, match like the web lines he has on his forearms, like right here. So that's the only difference, is that it would match, like, so it'd be like continuing that long-formed pattern when he gets to the hands. But other than that, that's pretty fine. I don't think anybody would notice it, quite honestly, because there's always a size differentiation, of like, as the suit goes down from Peter, it starts to get wider. It starts out smaller, it starts to get wider as you go down the suit. So that kind of longer pattern, like you see here, like you see right here on his hands, match very well. So honestly, it could work. It honestly could work. The reds match, or pretty much the reds are identical. So like I said, it could work. I want to find out, so I think I'm honestly going to go down to my sister's, go grab that grabbing hand, go get that mask, bring it back up, and I might honestly have those photos up on Instagram, up on TikTok, up on my YouTube shorts, because I do want to have it when he's kind of holding the mask. That'd be really, really cool. And then maybe one where, like, I'll do the next slide where, like, he'll have the open hands maybe, and he'll be putting on the mask. Some cool shit. I don't know. Maybe I'll even do this. I want to know what this head sculpt looks like. Actually, no, we don't. I actually want to try this head sculpt now. The full mask. This is from the 90s animated Spider-Man figure from that Vulture VHS 2-pack. I actually want to put this head sculpt on the Magic the Gathering Battle Damage Spidey body. So let's do that, because I do want to see what this looks like and see if it looks too weird. You know? Doesn't look half bad. It doesn't look... That doesn't look half bad. That does not look half bad. I'm going to be completely honest. I really thought the Reds would be too all over the place. But maybe there's a slight hint. Like, maybe the 90s Spider-Man figure is tiny bit brighter. But if I'm being completely honest, like, you could not tell. Head's perfect. Honestly, it's not too big, I think, in my personal opinion. Now, I will say, like I said, the mass Spidey head, battle damage Spidey head is a bit smaller, but it doesn't, the neck is so big on the battle damage Spider-Man, it does not look out of proportion. At least in my personal opinion, I think it looks pretty good. So that would work if you guys want to have, like, the full undamaged mask. All you gotta do is take it from your 90s Spider-Man figure, either from the Vulture VHS 2-pack or just the standalone Spidey. But I don't know if that standalone Spidey color would match as well. You know what I mean? Because that's more of a recent 90s Spider-Man figure than the retro carded one, in my personal opinion. So I don't know if the Reds will quite match up as good as this from the VHS 2-pack with Vulture. But I don't think that looks terrible. But like I said, I am keeping the battle damaged head on. But I do want to show you guys one more time what this one looks like, with its just hair showing is classic, hair showing, skin showing. That just one more time what that looks like. Looks pretty good in my personal opinion, but like I said, I don't think anything beats this actual battle damaged head. I think it looks really, really clean. And since I'm gonna have this Spidey right next to my Maximum Spidey, I think it only makes sense, like I said, to have him with the damaged face, with the damaged suit, while standing next to the other one. If I'm being completely honest, I'm tempted to put both of these on the same shelf, and then maybe put this head that's kind of showing... Wait, did I try that? I didn't try that yet. I'm going to put I don't know if I put the battle damaged on the 90s Spider-Man body, so let me do that. I don't think I did that yet. Or maybe I did. No, I didn't. That looks perfect. This looks perfect. This actually looks better than than this one that actually comes with the 90s Spider-Man figure, the full mask. This actually fits better in terms of, like, it not looking so bulky compared to this one. When you put this head sculpt on, it looks pretty bulky for this body, but this actually looks perfect. This actually goes hard. I am tempted to keep this head sculpt on my 90s Spider-Man figure. I'm tempted to keep it like that, if I'm being completely honest. I'm actually tempted to do that. I might do it. Let me know your thoughts. Should I keep the battle damaged head on my 90s Spider-Man, the animated series body? And then should I keep the battle damaged head on the battle damaged Spider-Man body? I think I might do that. I might just, because when you really look at it, this head sculpt is huge for the 90s Spider-Man head. It's cool, but it's huge. And if I'm being completely honest, I really like the whole squinting eyes. It really looks like he's been through it. I really do like it. I really do mess with it. So, and honestly, you could, or if you want, you could put this figure with the battle damaged head on your 90s Spider-Man, the animated series shelf. No one would, I mean, of course, there might be some suit differences, which there is a little bit in terms of, like, the spiders. But other than that, it's relatively kind of the same. Like I said, but I will say the back spiders are a little bit different as well. The sharper Spider-Man web legs, and then we have the more blockier Spider-Man web legs. So there's slight differences, but honestly, you could totally put this figure with the battle damage head on and put it on your 90s Spider-Man the animated series shelf. But guys, that was my unboxing for the Magic the Gathering Marvel Legends collab figure. I think it's incredible. I really do like this figure. Besides the fact that a lot of people's legs have been breaking off, just be careful because, like I said, there are the pegs that make it. The drop down hips can be a bit iffy, and I really recommend heating it up first before you just F with it right when you get it out of the box, just to make sure it does not break. Because, like I said, this is not a cheap figure, and a lot of the time, these figures, especially if you got it out at the store, you're going to be, like, I hate to say it, kind of shit out of the luck, because if they don't have it in store, you can't return it to get a new one. You see what I'm saying? But if you got it on Amazon, if you got it on Big Bad Toy Store, you can return it, which is a real good benefit of them kind of having, well, actually, Amazon more than Big Bad Toy Store, because, like, or not Big Bad Toy Store, I meant, well, actually, Big Bad Toy Store won't have it, I think, or maybe they do. correct me if I'm wrong, but I meant Hasbro and Amazon. Now, if Hasbro runs out of stock, you would not be able to get a refund for it and get a new one. But if Amazon Amazon is less likely, I think, to run out of stock than I think Hasbro, to be honest. But I think as of right now on Amazon and Hasbro, they're still up. I think they're also up on Big Bad Toy Store. Now, if you, like I said, if you got this in store, I hate to say it, you're kind of out of luck. It's just take my advice. I'm hoping this makes you guys either A, want to pick up the figure, or B, maybe this, me mentioning the hips makes you not want to pick up the figure. But like I said, the figure is great. All you gotta do is heat it up just to make sure it does not break. Not to say that if you guys want to just take it out and mess with it, it might not break on you. It's been a couple of people that it's happened to. Not everybody, but a lot more people are cautious. Now, I'm one of the few that's very cautious because I don't want it to break because I got this in the store. I'm not trying to have to go back to the store. Like, I'm not trying to have to, buy a whole new figure because I know my store doesn't have any more. Like, they only had one on the shelf, and that was after they said they had no stock. And then they got one or maybe two in, and I haven't seen any more since. So I would be out of luck, and I don't have the receipt, and there is no chance, even if they get more in, I could just replace it because I don't have the receipt anymore. So that's my advice, is, just heat it up before you mess with it. But let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section below. Do you guys like this figure? Do you guys not like this figure? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. And yet again, guys, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, put on those notifications, and like this video. I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers, so if you guys like this video, please feel free, like I said, to subscribe. More Marvel Legends content coming, of course, as always. I'm slowly starting to get back into unboxings. Like I said, I really wanted to do one for this one in particular. Just because I was very curious to see how these other head sculpts would work and kind of how, and just mess around with different things. And I also was curious to see if, even after I heated it up, if it would have broke on me. And it did not, but I was very careful with the legs because I did not want them to snap. And like I said, that goes well for me. This is the one benefit of the fact that I don't care about the articulation. I think I would have been safe regardless because I'm not really messing with the legs too much. But just to be on the safe side, I wanted to heat up the figure, and it worked. I didn't keep it in for too long either. It was less than a minute, I think I kept it in there. So, yeah, it might have been actually 20 seconds I kept it in, and I took it out, and it just started to be fine. But, like I said, guys, yeah, if you're new, subscribe. But as always, guys, I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.